Good day everyone. So my name is Gladys Ibaristo and I'm going to discuss about the properties of wood. Properties of wood explain the behavior and how it reacts to different substances at different temperature. So these properties explain the characteristic of wood with a generalized meaning. So under the properties of wood, we have physical properties, mechanical properties, and chemical properties. So, unahin po natin yung physical properties. So, based on appearance, we have color. So, the color of the wood varies significantly between the species and it is influenced by the factors like the type of tree, growth conditions, and exposure to light. Next naman is yung luster. So, luster is the ways of wood reflects from the light. So, nagiging lustrous lang ang wood kapag na-applyan siya ng right glossy finishing product like yung varnishes, lacquers, and oils. Next is textures. So, texture describes the feel and appearance of the wood surface ranging from smooth and fine to rough and coarse. Next one is the figure. So, this refers to the decorative patterns formed by variations in color and grain. So, mainly, this is about the appearance of the wood from outside and if it was cut. So based on moisture content naman, we have density. So density refers to the mass of wood per unit volume. Yung density ng wood is depende sa species ng tree and yung growth environment ng tree. Next one is hygroscopicity. So, wood readily absorbs and releases moisture from the surrounding air and a crucial factor in wood's behavior affecting its strength and stability. For construction projects, wood should typically have a moisture content below 19% to minimize shrinkage and ensure stability. So, kagaya ng mga karamihan na natural materials, ang wood ay hygroscopic. Ang ibig sabihin nito, yung wood, nag-absorb siya ng moisture at the same time, nagre-release din siya ng moisture sa surroundings niya. So, hygroscopicity is crucial because it gives impact on the wood's dimension, weight, and resistance to decay and how it responds to processing like drying and preservative treatments. Next is yung shrinkage and swelling. Parang ito lang yung specification ng hygroscopicity. So, shrinkage and swelling is the situation that explains that if the wood is dry, it shrinks. And if it absorbs moisture, it swells. So, unahin po natin yung shrinkage. So, why does wood shrink? So, kagaya ng sabi ko kanina, this is due to the loss of moisture. Thus, when the environment is drier. So, what will happen if the wood shrinks? So, this can cause several issues, including visual problems like gaps in joints, warping of materials, and cracks. It will reduce also the overall quality and durability of wood. So, to avoid shrinkage, we have to use dry wood that has a moisture content of 6 to 9%, or use a moisture meter to check the moisture content of the wood before using it to ensure it's within acceptable limits. Next is use proper storage. So, stack the wood with a slight space between boards to allow airflow and proper drying. Pwede din natin siyang isil sa ends ng wood to minimize moisture loss and reduce shrinkage. Next is yung swelling. So, bakit nga ba nagsuswell ang wood? So, this is due to its hygroscopic nature. So, it absorbs moisture from the surrounding environment as I discussed earlier. So, what happens if the wood swells? So, it can cause issues including warping like sa shrinkage, buckling, and it can reduce strength. So, moisture-induced swelling can also lead to decay, mold, and staining. So to avoid swelling, we have to protect the wood from rain or from getting wet. Next is consider using coatings to slow down the swelling, also in shrinkage. Last is choose proper wood species that absorbs moisture slowly. Then we have specific gravity. So the specific gravity is the ratio of wood's density to the density of the water. So we have other physical properties. Una dun is yung thermal properties. So wood is a poor conductor of heat, meaning it is a good insulator. So low thermal conductivity makes it suitable for building insulation. Next is acoustic properties. Wood can absorb sound waves, making it useful for application where noise reduction is desired. Also, it can transmit sound depending on its density and structure. Next, we're going to discuss about the mechanical properties. So mechanical properties of the wood can be explained as the capability of wood to withstand externally applied forces. So first we have plasticity. This is the feature of wood to change its original shape under the action of applied force. Second, we have stiffness. This is the wood's resistance to bending or deformation. Next, elasticity. This is the ability of the wood to return to its original shape after deform. Next one, we have cleavability. This is the ability of wood to break down along the grain during penetration. And then we have fragility, the ability of wood to break down suddenly without significantly shape changing under the action of mechanical force. Lastly, we have hardness. So this is the feature of the wood to resist the introduction of body of a certain form. So, name-measure yung hardness ng wood using Janka hardness test, which quantifies the resistance of wood to denting and wear. Lastly, we're going to discuss about the chemical properties of wood. So first is we have the cellulose. This is the primary structural component that makes about 40 to 45% of the wood. So this is a complex carbohydrate that provides strength and rigidity. Next naman is hemicellulose, comprising 18 to 35% of the wood. Lastly, we have lignin, consists around 20 to 35% of the dry wood. So basically, yung tatlo na to, lahat sila is nagpo-provide ng strength and rigidity sa wood. So that's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Vizcara JB and I'm reporting about wood preservation and treatment. And when we say wood preservation and treatment, these are essential processes for extending the lifespan and enhancing the durability of wood products. These methods protect wood from degradation caused by fungi, insects, and environmental factors like moisture and UV radiation. Effective preservation significantly reduces maintenance and promotes sustainable resources use. We have also the methods of wood preservation. Number 1, we have the treatment pressure, which means this industrial process forces preservatives deep into the wood cellular structure under high pressure. Common preservatives include chromated copper arsenate or CCA, creosote, and copper azoles. However, concerns about toxicity have led to the development of eco-friendly alternatives like copper and borate-based treatments. We have number 2, the non-pressure treatments, which means suitable for smaller projects. This includes surface treatments like dipping, brushing, and spraying, while less effective than pressure treatment in terms of penetration. They offer protection in less demanding applications. We have also the factors affecting Preservation's effectiveness. Number 1 is wood type. Different species have varying permeabilities and natural resistance to decay. Number 2, we have the preservative choice, which means the type of preservative must be appropriate for the intended use in environmental conditions. 3, we have the treatment method. Pressure treatment offers deeper penetration than surface treatments. Number 3, we have also the environmental conditions, which means exposure to moisture and sunlight significantly impacts the wood's longevity. Number 4, we have the wood preparation, which means removing dirt, debris, and loose bark is crucial for optimal preservative penetration. On that, we have the modern and preservative approaches. Number 1, we have the copper-based preservatives. These are replacing older, more toxic treatments like CCA. We have also the borate-based preservative. These offer effective protection with lower environmental impacts. We have also the WoodSeal Pro, which means this nanotechnology-based product offers waterproofing, protection against insects and fungi, and maintenance the wood's aesthetic appearance.